by the Munich artist Michi Mattes, and this project is called Esotronic. And then something else here. The whole gallery was filled with foam, and we made lots of lectures about insecurity in every aspect, and social aspects, and life aspects, and so on. And then always connected with exercises in the foam, like who could get from one corner to the next as quick as possible, or who could dive down as quick as possible, and so on. So that was also, or who could carry as much foam as possible outside. So that was always an aspect, like to have on one part the like the static things in the gallery, on the other part the movement, interaction, activity, movement, I guess, a lot. So now I'm looking for a specific file. 1 second. Okay, here. Now I have a few formats. Then we, for example, we made tons of things, so I can show you in this 10 minutes, like just a very few. So this was a barbecue contest in an exhibition context about science and art, and there was a contest between scientists and artists. So, and there was like jury, and one guy who he's very famous in Germany with cloning animals. He was in the jury, and so we had to give grades and so on. Then something else, fit for culture, like what is typical for us also to go somewhere else and with our brand to host events there. So this was at like a big sort of like city event. It was like a contest of like things that are really important if you want to work in the culture world. Like one thing is, you have to be really quick with like carrying chairs. Like we saw also tonight, so people had to do this in time. Then you had to recognize names in time, and then we sort of mixed them up. It was really funny. So this is a very ambitious curator, but he didn't win. Like one guy won who like knew the Munich scene like really well, and he was like moving so slow, but he was really good. Okay, then for example here we invited lots of Eisenbahn. Mini train freaks. So which was like, who played? So we had like a huge setup on the gallery, and they were making all sorts of weird stuff. So what would be like typical for us is to have specific settings where we invite like people from a very different community, because like we and I can say we're totally bored from like if it's like only one community. So I think interesting is like have like people from different communities mixing and so on. So we kind of like that. Then at our 3rd birthday, we had a birthday party, and we invited like this. 5 minutes. 5 minutes left? Okay, so we invited this guy, and at this party, like this cake here, and then here, like there are artists from Berlin, and we made like excursions with like manager trainings, and here our friends from Vienna, Johannes Grenzfurtner, made like an internet demonstration, and we. And then PowerPoint operetta, and what else do we have here? Yeah, you know some of them. Here it goes down. And yeah, the golf. Okay, here I have to show you this image, and then we had one. It's a bad image, but we had like a party where children played, like a children band. Which was pretty hysterical, but it was fun. And you only could get there if it was outside of the gallery with a password, and if it was about the 80s, a celebration about the 80s, and if you wear Birkenstock shoes, you would get in for free, and you could take on Patenschaften, godfatherships about trees, and we showed a video about Joseph Beuys singing with Bab, like for the Green Party. Well, there were lots of stuff going on. Okay, let's look for Gartentour Golf. Golf. Sorry. I have to show this here. Like, we made a homage to Bob Ross. We thought it was really funny to have in a new media space to paint like Bob Ross. And whereas, like here, so one of the guys kind of dressed up like Bob Ross, and the people from outside were looking. That was pretty funny. Okay. What else? What is this? Then we made like an excursion, because Bavarians like their last king very much. So we made an excursion to like the death day of the king. that's how the guys look like where I come from. You're right. Okay. But it's like, yeah, okay, we have to show this again. It's pretty impressive. Okay, good. And here, like all sorts of weird conspiracy people were there, and even a guy dressed up as the king. And yeah, this was part of a big exhibition about conspiracy theory. And now this was about dance, and we made like a big thing where you could like with about Baroque dance and hula dance, and you could make dance courses, and the whole thing was turned into, so as you see, like a lot of movement, yeah. But I have to find, I'm sorry, is it this one here? Yeah, okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, so we turned the gallery into a golf tournament kind of thing, and in the background there was like, at the opening party, we invited the political parties from Munich, and they should sell beer, and so it was like a little contest, like where do you want to go? Like, you want to go buy your beer at the Conservatives, at the Greens, at the Rosa Liste, whatever. And then there was like, you could like sort of like kick the ball, and who was the best, he could then go to the golf green, and then the contest went in, and if you won, if you had like a certain numbers, then you could sort of like go underneath the golf thing, like here, and then you meet the artist, meet Heinrich Gartentor, like this Swiss guy, watch his videos, and there were like little, I don't know, little Kühlschranke, little refrigerators with like lots of champagne, and you could get like totally pissed, yeah. And yeah, so there's like lots of performances with like different artists on this also. And I have to show more. Okay, this is here. Then here, like one kind of like first of the month performance was, we had the script of Terminator 2, and everyone had like a part of the Terminator, and we just like read it very dry, which is kind of interesting. And here I just show you stuff, what happened at our stuff, like Harm Lux, a curator from Berlin, and the music also, and here on the Gartentor golf green, that was like a classical Jetzt red I, like every per person 50 minutes, like us now. This was like in the middle of like the conspiracy exhibition. Patrick, he made a workshop about how to create your own conspiracy theory, with like the groups were built, and you had to have several topics and build your own theory, which is quite interesting actually. And we had like a hypnosis sessions, like a guy from Los Angeles, Markus Lütjens, he called, and people got hypnotized, and all the women fell in love with his voice. And then we had here Kulmbacher Bierkönigin, the beer queen, and we had a little beer contest, and all the guys liked her very much. And like she goes around and is like totally convinced that she's the real Kulmbacher beer queen, and creates her legends, although it doesn't exist. And here, that was beautiful. That was a self-help group, Schöner Scheitern, Fail More Beautifully, and they talk in public about their failures. And so it's like a mixture between, you don't know if it's made up or not, so they come together, well, today I'm depressed because it's over, yeah? And okay, now we end with this big hug, because then they had like a big hug and walking outside, and somebody was running after them when we came back, but everybody, they wasn't sure you're sort of like grossed out, but touched at the same time. So, yeah. I thank you very much. I hope you're not grossed out, but touched. Wait.
No, you just kick her out. So,
sorry, here's a catalog.